Hey there, my name is Taylor. I'm an amateur cyclist. This is a recap of my experience at the 2024 Renegade Rambler gravel ride. I rode the 65-mile distance with my brother, who was in the front there, or just in front of me at the beginning. They also had a 100-mile distance and a 35-mile distance, so we did the middle distance. For me, I had not been training too much in the 3 months prior to this, so I have previously done long rides and long gravel rides, but this was definitely a reach for me because in the past 3 months I hadn't done that much long rides or any gravel rides actually. So that's why we did the 65 instead of the 100. I'm showing you some clips here from the beginning, which are going along the Northeast Texas Trail, the NETT. And you can see that it actually starts off paved and there's quite a few road crossings, and also it's really tightly packed with riders. So there was a neutral start along the NETT until we turned off onto gravel roads. I really liked this neutral start. It was nice to be kind of chill at the beginning, riding too wide and just going not too fast, like 15 mile an hour average. So this was really nice, peaceful. I had been on this trail before, so this wasn't new to me, but it was new to plenty of people. One of the riders next to me was asking me about it. And I think this was a nice way to show off this trail. You've got pavement, you've got really nice packed gravel, you've got some chunkier gravel, you've got bridges. Also, it's a trail that was in use by other people, so there were walkers out, people with dogs, other people just recreationally riding unattached to the race. And you can see there was a tiny bit of mud. The weather was fantastic for February. It was warm out, like 60s and 70s all day. It had been beautiful all week, so there was that one little patch of mud, but everything else was dry and really nice to ride on. So the neutral section actually went for quite a while, and it went through a lot of these sections with the bollards, and they had removed some of the bollards. I assumed they removed everything that they could, but that meant that every time we approached them, we slowed down so that everyone could navigate around. So it was kind of like a weirdly punchy neutral section where you'd slow down and then pick it back up again. But right here is where the neutral section ended. We stopped to turn onto a road briefly and then turned onto some gravel. And here we are just doing the actual gravel ride right here. And one of the things that I was surprised to find, I wasn't riding to win or anything like that. My goal was to keep my heart rate below 150 for the first 50 miles and then turn myself loose at the end if I had anything left in the tank. And people were just passing me on the hills. So on the downhill I would be coasting, passing people somehow, and then on the uphill I'd be putting out a fair amount of watts, keeping my heart rate below 150, and people would just pass me, and then I'd pass them again on the downhill, and we'd keep leapfrogging like that. So that was a little surprising. I'm not really sure what was going on there. I just showed one of the first aid stations, and right here I think was the steepest hill on the entire route, which was a crazy 8%. For Texas, that's pretty steep. But for the most part, the route was pretty flat. I think on the whole, we did around 2,000 feet of elevation over 65 miles, so not much. There was some traffic on the day, so there was a car coming in the other direction there. This was actually the scariest part of the whole ride, where at the bottom of the hill, there was a bridge over a little ravine, and it had wood planks running along the the direction of travel, so you had to make sure your wheel didn't get caught in between. And that right there was my least favorite part, which was washboards. Super not fun to do on gravel. But here we are at the final aid station on the NETT again. At the end of the ride, they had you kind of crisscrossing back and forth across the NETT, and so that's where the last aid station was. This truck passed kind of close, and I was surprised that I didn't hear them coming. I feel like on gravel I was really focused on what I was doing and completely forgot that there could be a car behind me, so it kind of snuck up on me. At this point in the race, I had kind of run out of fuel, so you saw me eating a Cliff Bar there. Prior to that, I had been drinking a bunch of mix from my bottles, and I also had a Camelback for water, and that worked great, but just didn't quite have enough. Polished off the lens there so that coming into the finish, you could get a clear view of everything. I realized way too late that there was a bunch of dust all over the camera lens, so the picture got worse and worse over the day. Here's the details from Strava if you want to know all the deets. I'll have a link in the description as well. And here's all the graphs, pretty graphs, all that stuff. But that's it. I had a great time at this ride. Maybe next year I'll do the full 100 miles, but hopefully we'll see you out there. Just to mention, it starts in Farmersville, which is at the historic Onion Shed, and lots of great gravel riding out there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.